Hello, everyone, and welcome to the HHWShow podcast. I'm Obi-Wan, and shortly Hector will be joining me momentarily. But today's episode, factions. Are they heading in the right direction, or are they heading in the wrong direction? Plenty of factions that we need to talk about, especially one that's been left hanging. We're going to talk about that soon. But there's just something that was brought to my attention about looking things through the windshield compared of looking at things in the rearview mirror. Now, I don't know the right way to say this, but I know my man Hector, he's going to explain that. And I'm gonna put him in right now. Hector, what's up, man?
How ya
Um,
doing?
yeah, man. I want to say first, thank you for acknowledging me on my day, Sunday,
Yes, sir.
which I earned another year in life.
That is true. I mean, we've gone so many years knowing each other over spanning over 2 decades, and it's just amazing how, our relationship has grown over the years from being young kids to
Right.
to where we are now. And it's just amazing, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I celebrated my birthday Sunday. HHW Show podcast is celebrating the birthday next week, which is pretty awesome that we were hitting year 4. I can't believe how time went by so fast, but when I was thinking about my birthday and the day that had happened, there was a moment that I kind of felt depressed,
Hmm.
and we talked before, and you mentioned some good things about it. I would like for you to retell it to me again.
Yeah, in life, we deal with a lot of ups and downs, and we understand that. You know what I'm saying? That
Mhm.
when you was expressing to me, how you was feeling a little down and out, maybe a little depressed, you have to take the positive over the negative, because we got so much negativity in our lives. Okay, the world is full of negativity. But to know that this is your birthday, the day that you was given life, okay, from your parents and from a spiritual aspect of with God, this is your day, your special day that you should be thanking, that you're alive. You have so much to look forward to, and everything that you've accomplished in life up to this point. You still got your health. You got, what I'm saying, you have a family. I mean, hell, you're a grandfather. You know what I'm saying? These are things that you should be celebrating, as an accomplishment in life. You know what I'm saying?
And
And
which I do,
you know,
but sometimes when you reflect back and stuff like that, you do think about the accomplishments you made,
right.
but then you get to a certain point. It was like, time is getting closer. You know what I mean? But you enlighten and of course that's why friends are always there for each other. Is that you always find a way to get my mind back in the positive side,
Right.
and you
And yeah,
mentioned something to me
right.
about how to stay focused, and what was
Yeah.
that again?
Yeah, so you think about it like when you're driving, okay? When you're driving a car, okay, your windshield is right in front of you and is much bigger than the rearview mirror that you have. Okay. So when you're driving, you're always looking forward. Okay. You're looking at the bigger picture. The windshield is larger than the rearview mirror because what's in front of you is much more important than what's already behind you, what you already passed.
Mm.
The rearview mirror represents your past. You look behind you as a stepping stone, as a teaching moment, but you keep moving forward. That's why the windshield is bigger. It's for you meant to go forward and not backwards. Because if that was the case, we'd be driving our cars backwards. But that's not the case. We keep moving forward, and no matter what kind of bumps in the road that we hit, because we hit
Right.
potholes and we hit detours, that's all part of life. But we keep going forward, and we get to our destination, our goal.
I'm
Okay, and
glad you
so
mentioned that. And like I said, thank you. But I think somebody else needs that even more of that lecture, and that is Finn Balor, because he was ready to throw out his 30 laundry out there.
ooh, was
Um, and Rhea Ripley had to step in and be like, "Hey, let's talk about it backstage. let's deal with it backstage and stuff like
Right.
that. And she handled it pretty amazing. She really did.
She was the calm-headed one, she was the level-headed one. And sometimes in life we have to have that person that we can trust to be that sound mind for us when we're not thinking straight. Okay, because sometimes I may might be thinking straight, and you could be there for me, and vice versa. And she did the right thing. We'll talk about it behind closed doors. We don't need to air out dirty laundry. It's not for
Mhm.
everybody to know, but only for us.
And you know what? A lot of people still do that. A
Hmm.
lot of people want to be heard because they're hurt. They want to least, lash out and everything. And people like to tweet or they like to put it on Facebook and
Mm,
everything else. So the whole world will know.
yeah,
You break up with someone and that person that supposedly you bonded with, whatever, now is your biggest enemy. So you want to throw trash at that person. You know what I mean? I was like, why? Why would you do that? Why would everybody want to know your business? And for Rhea Ripley, even though there's not a relationship, it's a group thing. She was able to calm the matter, and she allowed for Finn Balor and Damian Priest to talk backstage. And the good thing about that one is that Damian Priest has said that he had his back, that the issue was never him in the first place. And he continues to tell him, yo, you need to solve your problems with Seth Rollins. You know what I mean?
hmm,
But in that point on, he did say he always had backup. And the backup plan is the Money in the Bank briefcase. Now
right,
it left Finn Balor scratching his head again, you
yes,
know, but it's like, well, you're not looking at the big picture. The big picture's in front of you. And like you said, this guy's still looking in the back. He's still reminiscing 7, 8 years ago about when he was the first Universal Champion. So what? What are you going to do now to defeat Seth freaking Rollins?
yeah. And I think, in my opinion, he's still worried about Damian Priest not holding to his word, and he's going to cash in on him. I think
He's
that's what
going to
he's really
hold to
worried
his
about.
word. Here's my question to you, and I said this on Twitter. So if you follow me on Twitter, it is OVI_HHW show. And the question is, and it was a unanimous, bro. Not even a minute that was shared on Twitter. I got a harsh response. Is Damian Priest selflessly, all right, or doing his selfless service, right? Would he be willing to sacrifice his Money in the Bank briefcase to give it to Finn Balor and allow him to cash in and win the world championship? Do you
Hmm.
think he will do that?
I wouldn't.
He did say he got backup. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he did. He
Does
did.
that mean that if Finn Balor fails, then he's gonna go over and win the title, or would he cash in and say, "Hey, you got it.
Right. Yeah.
Here's your
Exactly.
contract.
There's
Here
two.
you go."
You're right. There's two different perspectives that you can look at it. I think Damien's looking at it the wrong way and thinking that he's going to use it for himself. I'm sorry. Me personally, it took me a lot to get to the point where I'm at to earn that. I'm sorry. I want to cheer you on and I want to be there for you. Okay. But if you don't succeed, I got to be able to be the next man up because I don't know if I'm ever going to get that chance ever again. And for me to just to hand it to you, who's to say you may fail again, and now we got a wasted opportunity, and I'm sitting back saying, well, shoulda, woulda, coulda. I could have had the chance to do that and try to win it myself.
Hmm.
So
Okay. Well, unanimously, everyone said no. Okay. So I was like, oh my God, like there's not even that 1% of yes. Absolutely not. And you know what? It was a question because I
right.
was like, wow, like we think about thinking outside the box, but is Damian Priest really a friend? Would he really go that route to please his friend, the Judgment Day, and winning a world title?
But on the other hand, if Finn Balor is a real friend, he will allow him to try to be successful with if he fails.
Hmm.
You see, if you got that briefcase, Ovi, and I fail trying to win that title, I should be able to say, you know what, go for it. I can't seem to get it. Go for it. Do it. See if you can do it. You earned that right to do it anytime, anywhere you want. Go for it, and there should be no jealousy. Hoping that if you do become champion, that you don't see yourself better than me because you are now the champion and I'm not. But that
Absolutely.
but that just is the test of friendship, that brotherhood.
I got a feeling that Damian Priest will cash in at SummerSlam. I believe that I want to believe that it will be on Roman Reigns. That's what I would love to be. He already reached over 1,000 days, right? He's gonna have a match with Jey Uso. I still don't think that Jey Uso will be able to defeat Roman Reigns one-on-one. But after the match, whatever happens, happens. That could be a great opportunity for Damian Priest to get after that world title. I believe so.
I would like to see Jay win it, and then if worst case scenario, Damian Priest cash in on him.
I don't know. I just don't see it. I know Jey Uso has built up that stardom to be the real main eventer. I got it, but I just don't see him a world title. Maybe it's because I've seen him too much as a tag team champions. Okay. And we've been through this route before. Why
Mm.
why will make this so different right now for Jey Uso?
Why not? I mean, he's done everything he's supposed to do to get to the point where he's at right now. So why not his time now?
But look at him. Look at Roman Reigns. Like you look at his demeanor, and he tricked everybody in giving Jey Uso what we was believed that he would be the next tribal chief, only to get low blowed the same way he lost the match at
Yeah.
Money in the Bank, and all hell broke loose. I just don't see Roman Reigns at all losing that title to Jey Uso.
Well, if you're gonna stick on that, then I'm gonna have to say that Roman Reigns is not gonna lose that title to Damian Priest.
And if that's the case, then he will cash in on Seth Rollins, and that jealousy is going to be a factor for Finn Balor.
And then it could be a triple threat match there. Maybe allowing
I won't
Seth
say a
Rollins.
triple threat. I won't say that.
Finn Balor's gonna get away to try to get back into it.
But the way things ended that Monday Night Raw, it just seemed like the whatever differences they had went away, and they're just gonna stick together.
Or does he cost Damian Priest that championship and allow Seth Rollins to win it back?
I don't know.
See, I mean, to me, it feels almost as if Damian Priest is in a checkmate situation with that briefcase, to where it seems like every scenario we can think of,
Right.
it feels like he's not going to win it. He's not going to be successful.
He's gonna win it. He's going to win
He
it.
has to. I think
He
he
has
deserves
to.
it.
He deserves it all the way. Look, he wasn't the NXT champion, but he was the North American champion, and he
Right.
won that by being the number one contender by winning the ladder match. This
Yes.
has similarities.
Yes.
He is the number one contender for any title, and I'm telling you right now, for all the action that's happened, of course, I don't. It's a theory for him to cross over to SmackDown, but I just don't see that happening. Especially all the attacks he have done on Seth Rollins. It's just a moment in time that he's going to cash in. But here's a flashback. Check out this picture right here. Damian Priest. Like, okay, this is the one thing I'm starting to do now is for whenever they have security guards on wrestling, I'm paying attention to these faces now because it just seems that every time these stars come up, you look back at least 9-10 years prior, they were already doing something for WWE.
Yes. And that's what's amazing about that. I mean, you think about all these security guards, like you're saying, or just people who played in different props for ring entrances, WrestleManias for the big superstars. You're right. We have to start paying attention to these folks and keep an eye on them because they could be the next superstar or the next Money in the Bank winner.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking about, the next, you know what, um, Rhea Ripley hasn't really been defending that title. I mean, she defended against Natalia, but there ain't that many superstars. Then again, Asuka hasn't defended her title probably one time against
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair, right? But she might have an opponent, and might be depending on what happens in the outcome of this match right here. Liv Morgan, Rodriguez versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. That's going to happen next week on Raw, and you see Raquel and Rhea and others stand down once again. Okay, once again, I
That
can see
is
this match happening.
oh, big time. I I feel like this is like Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, the women's version here. I mean, this would be if we get Raquel without that tag title, then we get a fully focused Raquel. But if she holds it at tag titles, we're not going to get a fully concentrating Rodriguez here or Gonzalez. So
There's going to be a strike three.
think
There's
so.
going to be a strike three. Rhea already mentioned strike two for their involvement for some odd reason, but strike three, I think something's gonna happen to where Rhea could help out Sonya and Chelsea to win those
Yes,
titles.
I agree with that. I think that makes sense. So Raquel can focus solely on that women's championship title and give us the best Raquel that we can see without no distractions with Liv Morgan. I agree.
Yep, I do. Uh, Point taken. Let's transition over to the Imperium because apparently something's a little bit off here. Okay. Uh, at the end of the match, okay, we had, if I'm not mistaken, Matt Riddle and Drew McIntyre had a tag team match
Yes.
against the Imperium, but it was Vinci that got the pin, and things didn't suit well. Now I don't understand their language or what they was said, but pretty much you're looking at the body language that they're both disgusted on Vinci for losing, and I think they're turning their backs on him.
I think that's just being hypocritical because how many times has uh, Kaiser had over there been pinned himself?
Well, Gunther one time smacked the shit out of him
Right,
for
exactly.
losing, right? I
Yeah,
mean, he kept
exactly.
smacking him. I'm like, golly. I mean, he still loses. I don't understand what the meaning of those slaps were, but I know that Gunther's in charge. That's all I know.
Yeah.
So
I don't think they're kicking him out of Imperium. I think this is just a lesson learned that hey, failure is not an option with Imperium, is not with Gunther. He doesn't accept failure, whether it's Giovanni or whether it's Kai. It doesn't matter who it is. I remember I thought at one time there was a fourth member when
there
they were
was
on
a fourth
NXT.
member, absolutely.
And would they bring that person back? Who knows?
Who knows?
But you cannot kick Giovanni out of Imperium. If you're gonna try to have Gunther keep this title around his waist, he needs all the help he possibly can right now because McIntyre is coming as a big ball of fire. So Gunther better watch out.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, let's head back to the bloodline. I know we talked briefly about it and stuff like that. Just to read it real quick, Roman Reigns, yes, he got pinned, but that doesn't mean because he got pinned that he's not going to be the tribal chief anymore. And I like the way the words that Roman Reigns used, and it was like, I'm still the big dog. I'm still the tribal chief. Like, who calls what is it? A tribal court without the tribal chief? You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
who does that? And of course, the tag teams, the Usos, they're trying to hype it up, but they got suckered in. They got suckered in because Roman Reigns continues to make it cinematic. Okay. And I'm loving it, man. I'm loving this movie. This is better than Fast and the Furious.
Which one? All nine, all 10 of them?
I mean, really, man, this is a movie. And you know what? I would hate that after SummerSlam that chapter's gonna close. It feels like the chapter's gonna close.
I don't think so. I really don't. This is the
No?
best thing that SmackDown's got going on right now. There's
Yeah,
no
but for
other,
how long can you let it ride though? Honestly,
as
how
long as
long
he's
can you let it
champion,
ride?
until it gets to the breaking point where Jey Uso becomes champion and ends that reign. I'm sorry. I just think that's what's gonna happen.
Roman Reigns won the Universal title, if I'm not mistaken, was at Payback 1 week after SummerSlam. Could it be deja vu again? Roman Reigns wins SummerSlam. They get a match for Payback, and Jey Uso finally gets the win.
I'm down for that. But not just a win, but with the title around his waist.
Gotcha.
There's been plenty of tag teams out there who were successful as tag teams and tag team champions, and then you got that one individual who goes off on his own and wins singles titles.
Reminds
Why
me of
not?
Shawn Michaels.
It reminds me of Bret Hart. Why not
Hart
Jay?
Foundation, right?
Right. Why not
The
Jay?
Rockers. Yep.
Jay
Yeah.
can do it.
Yes. Yeah. At this point right now, I think he'd be all right being on his own. But we got one other factor. What is Solo gonna do?
Solo's confused. He don't know what he wants to do.
I'm sorry, man, but I'm still gonna be with my brothers, man. I'm sorry. I just
believe
don't understand his role.
because when he picked up that red reef, he was looking at it. And I feel it wasn't about should I be the tribal chief, because I think that's what Frank was saying, that he will become the next one. I feel it's like, do I give it to Roman, or is my brother the real tribal chief here?
I think he understands that he's the little brother of everybody.
Right. Exactly.
So he's not next.
Right.
Right. But Jay did mention his name and Jimmy about Solo being the next guy. I don't know. But this is what I do know. I just don't see Roman Reigns losing this title anytime. There's just no one at his level right now. Nobody.
No, it's not. And there's nobody but Jay on the roster, on the SmackDown roster, that's going to contend for that title at the moment. So if you're not going to give it to Jay now, you might as well just keep this reign going on. Just imagine if we had the podcast when Bruno Sammartino was champion. Would have been going.
You know what? No. You know the difference between the champion now and the champion from back then is that Bruno Sammartino only wrestled once a month.
Right, and I get it. I get it. There probably wasn't that much competition.
If he would have been wrestling every day, do you think he would have reached 4,000 days? Absolutely not. You could probably take half of it out. I respect 2,000 more than 4,000.
Hey, I believe Roman Reigns just passed Hulk Hogan in the modern day WrestleMania era as the longest reigning champion in the WrestleMania era. He passed
I'm gonna
Hogan.
look that up, but I believe so.
Because I believe Roman right now is at 1,044 days and Hogan was at 1,041, I believe, or something like that. The WrestleMania era, not all time, because Roman's got forever and a day to even try to think about catching even Pedro Morales at this point or Bob Backlund. So you can forget about that. he got Hulk Hogan in his sights right now that he can pass, because I think Hogan was at 1474 or something like that. So I think that's more doable.
Right.
So he's got to be champion for another year and a half probably to pass Hogan. And I can see it. I can honestly see it. And to me, I don't think the storyline is getting dull with him and Jay or him and the Usos. The Usos already said they were next for the Uso Penitentiary, and they were successful on that. But now let's see what you can do individually. Jimmy, he don't have nothing to do with this.
Jimmy's out.
He's out.
They had to get him out of the equation.
Either that or he's just going to be there to keep Solo, little brother, out of the equation so Jay can take care of this
Well,
situation.
hopefully he recovers fine from the hospital because, I mean, the ass whooping that he got, I don't think he's going to be around here for the next couple of weeks. But
That is true. Little brother did put it on him.
this wraps up our show. I appreciate it that you guys were listening in. Tune in next week as our road to SummerSlam gets near, baby. And I can't wait. More match cards being developed, more storylines. And again, please visit the website, HHWShow.com, to know more of the rumors and, of course, the fantasy tournament, the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Who you think is deserving to win that title? Stay tuned. And thank you for watching the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show.